Hey, it's Cindy here, and today I want to talk to you about guilt because you know us women, we're great at guilt. We're great at it, some of us. And especially going through midlife, there's all kinds of situations where guilt can come into play. For example, some of you are going to take your kids off to college soon, and you may be secretly a little bit relieved and happy about that and feel some guilt, even if at the same time you feel the sadness and kind of mourn that loss too. Or maybe you feel guilty because you're not happy about it, that you really don't want them to leave. And so you feel guilty because you know that it is their time to do that and to be free and move on with their lives. And you're resisting that, so you might feel guilty about that. Midlife is a big time where relationships end often, partnerships and marriages. It's one of the biggest times for divorce in our country, and you may feel guilt about that. You may feel guilty that you've let your body go. You may feel guilty because you don't like your job, or you don't like your boss, or you don't like your family, or you don't like yourself, or who knows what all you might be feeling guilty about. There could be all kinds of things going on with the many transitions that we tend to face. Another big one I'm hearing about is caring for parents and loving the parents and wanting to do right by them and be respectful of them, but feeling guilty because you're exhausted, or you're not sure what to do, or you're kind of resenting that now you actually have to take care of them when you just got done raising kids, and Anyway, okay, so enough of that. You know whether you're feeling guilty about something or not. Well, there's two kinds of guilt, two kinds. There's imaginary guilt and real guilt. So let's distinguish the two first, because this is really important that you sort this out. Imaginary guilt is kind of like we had when we were kids. And we thought if we stepped on the cracks in the sidewalk, we'd break our mother's backs, step on the crack, break your mother's back. We kind of had that magical thinking. Also, younger kids think that if they have a mean thought about someone, and then that someone gets hurt or dies or something, that they made that happen, that kind of thing. So translating imaginary guilt to now, we may think that we've caused someone pain or distress from a choice we've made or something like that. And we often say, we don't want to hurt other people, which of course we don't want to hurt other people. I don't want to either. But the thing is we're not in charge of other people's feelings. We're not in charge of other people's lives. So you can't cause something bad to happen for someone else because of your own decisions, your own choices, right? I mean, magically. So be sure and sort that out and let it go, because you aren't in charge of the universe and you're not in control of other people. All you have is control over your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's it. So if in your thoughts, feelings, and actions you've said something or not said something, done something or not done something that you regret and feel guilt about, then that is real guilt. That's the other kind. And that's the kind I really want to focus on today, because imaginary guilt, the best thing you can do about that is sort out what you can control and what you can't control, and realize you aren't doing some of the things you might be thinking that you're doing. And so you simply need to let it go. Okay, but if you have real guilt about your thoughts, feelings, or actions, something that you've done or not done, etc., then let's talk through that. First of all, I want you to think about what terrible messages you're giving yourself because you feel this guilt. You're probably criticizing yourself, loathing yourself, being really hard on yourself. I'm a bad person. I'm a terrible mother. I'm a bad wife or partner. I'm a mean employee. I'm a mean boss. I'm a terrible daughter. I'm an awful friend. I'm insensitive. I'm whatever. I'm selfish. Women say all kinds of terrible things to themselves, especially when they feel guilty. So look at the messages that you're giving yourself, because this is probably a form of you punishing yourself for what you feel guilty about. And recognize that as long as you stay in that space, you're not going to get anywhere in life that's good. Nowhere with yourself or anyone else. It's not going to right the wrong you think that's happened either, if you just sit around and punish yourself saying terrible things or not allowing yourself to live fully because you feel so badly about something. So please look at that. And then I want you to ask yourself this question. What needs to happen for me to find peace around this that I feel guilty about? What needs to happen for me to find peace around this that I feel guilty about? Okay, now let's look at this a little bit. Number one, I want you to take 100% responsibility for your life, yours, just yours, not everybody else's in your circle, just yours. You're in charge of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. 100% responsibility for them. So no blaming and complaining about other people right now. Just look inward and go, okay, I'm in charge of myself, and I don't like what I did here or what I didn't do, etc., and take responsibility for that. Now, ask yourself if you can make amends somewhere. Do you need to make amends in some way? Do you need to apologize? Do you need to have a redo with someone or a situation or ask for another chance on something? Can you correct what you think you've done wrong in some way? You've got to be the judge of that. That's not anybody else's place to decide. That's your place to decide. And if you do, whether the person is alive or dead, or the teen, whoever is involved, whether they're alive or dead, you can make amends. You can make amends verbally, written, or by action in some way, perhaps. Ask yourself how you can make amends to bring peace to the situation for you. Not for them, but for you. If it brings peace for them too, great, but that's their job, is to bring peace to their own lives, not yours. So, do you need to apologize to someone? Do you need to write a letter to a deceased person and take it to the grave, or read it to them, or talk to them, or pray, or whatever you might do to connect with a deceased person? It's okay to talk to them. It's okay to connect with them and attempt to bring yourself peace around something. So I would work on making amends in whatever way that you can. And then I would look at the lessons that you learned from this, whatever has evolved from all of this that has led you to these guilty feelings, and look at the lessons you've learned from the experience around it. Okay? Because no doubt when we have anything that is very dramatic or traumatic for us in our lives, that causes us big emotion, whether it's big celebration or big distress or somewhere in between, there's some gems in there. There's some hidden gems. Well, they may not be hidden, but there are gems in there that maybe you're not seeing that you can find. So ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I take from where I've been in this journey, in this experience, that can help me move forward in my life, right? Because that's the whole point of looking at the past. The past is as soon as 5 minutes ago, yesterday, this morning, an hour ago, last week, last month, last year, 10 years, whatever. The past is everything before right now. Everything. And the only value in looking back when we have guilt is to work to find peace and to grab the lessons from the experience. Okay? So find some things to really grasp that you've learned, or that you could learn from, and that could help you to move forward in your life and respond differently the next time, so you don't go through guilt again, but instead that you feel more at peace with the choices that you're making, the thoughts you're thinking, the feelings that you're experiencing, and the actions that you're taking based on those things. So that is the only value in looking to the past. Well, maybe celebration and memory, revisiting, and things like that. But when there's guilt involved, the only value is to go, okay, what really happened there? What did I do or not do? And what can I learn from my own choices in all of that, and how I responded to that situation that can carry me forward, so the next time I'm faced with something similar or a parallel experience, perhaps, I can take a different path so I don't end up feeling this rotten and being mean to myself. Okay? And then the other thing I would say here is to remember that we're all human. Every one of us, even those people out there that you think are perfect or they think they're perfect, which may be the case sometimes, that we've all done things that part of the journey of life is we will fall. Like isn't there's a Chinese proverb that says fall 7 times, get up 8. So remember that it's human to make mistakes, what we call mistakes, and to self-correct, as much as possible, and get back on a track that feels really, really good. And the other thing, my last thought is, really deep down, deep down, we're all doing the very best that we can. We really are. We're doing the very best that we can with the resources we have at the time, our understanding of life at the time, and where we're at emotionally at the time. We're doing the best we can. And there's always room to make progress. And like my buddy Jay says, progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Don't worry about being perfect. Just worry about, don't worry about anything, but focus on making progress. Always making progress. All right, so go easier on yourselves, girls, and I'll talk to you again soon.